Welcome back to Rudolph's Mountains. It's been a long time. I did question for a while whether I'd ever get back out again, but we're here and let's hope today goes well. I'll explain a little bit about why it's been such a long time since I've been out later in the video. Back in beautiful Wales to bag the final top in the Carneddau. So I hope you enjoy joining me on this one. I've got a bit of history to talk about first, and today I've got a bit of company. Alan and Paul are joining me on this adventure. So behind me here is the dam at Llyn Eigiau, and it was this dam that breached back in November 1925, releasing millions of gallons of water down the valley, overwhelming the little reservoir at the end before pouring over into Dolgarrog. 16 people were killed, but it changed the way dams were regulated. 5 years later, an act was passed in Parliament that meant dams needed to be independently designed and supervised, and that legislation I think still stands now. So yeah, when you look at the dam, it's not very substantial, and it seems no surprise. Apparently it's down to the water getting under the base in the clay that was there. At a dry spell, clay contracted, there was water going into a crack and opened it up, and then before you know it, disaster. Let's go over and have a quick look. You can see how the water, as it ran through, cut a gully in the ground. Terrifying. Wow. Sad then it cost people's lives to do what really should have been obvious in the first place. You can see the main dam structure there behind me. That was taken down after the disaster just to make sure the Llyn Eigiau couldn't fill up again. You can just about make out what's left of the reservoir over there. Anyway, that's the easy part of the walk done. Nice and flat, beautiful scenery. Now we climb, and the route we're taking today up Pen, Llithrig, Wrach, is quite a quiet one, I hope, but it means the paths aren't going to be great, if there are any. This is something I can pick out on the map, so it should be alright. Oh, third time lucky. I turned off the path too early twice. Took us on a meaningless excursion, and around and half up the hill and back down again. But I think we're on the path now. Right, we've turned off the main path, which is fairly small. Onto one that's absolutely tiny, but there's something here to tell us which way to go, which is the main thing. footpath is playing hide and seek amongst the heather, but so far we managed to follow it. Oh, look at that. Not sure if you picked it out. Van in the distance. Finally onto the ridgeline, and we'll stay on this more or less right to the top of the slippery hill of the Witch. And for the first time in a while we've got a proper distinct trail to follow, which is marvellous. Right, we can see the summit ahead of us now. We turn you around and show you. Looking rather majestic. I thought I'd talk a little bit about why it's been so long since I've been in the hills, and it's 10 weeks since I last was out. And it all goes back to the middle of January when I was playing football, tried to turn, something snapped in my knee rotated in an unnatural way, and yeah, it hurt. And it's the first time my knee has done something structurally wrong since I had my ACL reconstructed 8 years ago, and so I've been very worried about the structure of my knee and whether or not it's going to start letting me down again. I've seen a doctor. He said rest it for 6 weeks before doing anything. And so yeah, being me, 6 weeks of rest is unthinkable, and so 6 weeks of not walking became 6 weeks of jobs. And so yeah, I spent a bit of time, well, a lot of time working on standing the van. Replaced the one of the prop shaft bearings which the rubber had split on. I fitted some air suspension on the back, just the airbags to assist the suspension. But what I'm mostly interested in is the fact that I can adjust the pressure on either side, so I can level the van off when I'm parked and laybys and stuff without ramps. And it's you can lift either side by an inch or two, which is absolutely brilliant. It's worked really well so far. But the big job has been I've decided to redecorate the whole inside of the van. It was getting a bit knocked about and a bit tatty looking, so I thought, while I can't get in the hills, let's do some work on stands. So I'll bring some images up to show you what I've been doing. Also been out on Nuttalls and motorbike to try and keep me sane, and that's been grand. But yeah, I've been doing, after my 6 weeks rest, I've been doing loads of physio, trying to build up strength in my knee again. The doctors said that the structure of my knee seems okay. I've got, I can't take too much confidence in that, because that's what they said last time, and it kept going on me to the point where I needed surgery on it. And it was only an MRI that diagnosed the ACL had snapped. So yeah, ultimately, if the knee lets me down, I'm going to have another MRI. But for the moment, doctor says it's okay. I've done plenty of physio. I've been building up my fitness over the last 4 weeks. I've done some little walks, likes of Mull Vamai, but this is my first proper big walk out, and so it's a big test to see whether the structure of my knee is okay, see if it remains stable, but also just to see whether the The pain's okay because it has been sore, but you've got to use these things. I think if it's got as good as it was going to get without some exercise on it now, so it is a bit stiff still. Because the problem is whenever your knee does something unnatural in terms of movement, and for me it was like a twist, it damages all the cartilage, and that takes weeks to settle down again. If it's properly torn, it doesn't really heal, and you end up with all sorts of problems. But it has been getting better, so fingers crossed. This is the first of many more adventures in the mountains, but it's not until I get back to the car today that I can have a great deal of confidence in that. So we shall see. We shall see. But my goodness gracious me, it's good to be back and to come and bag the final top in the Carneddau, one of my favourite places in Wales. It's just excellent. Little bit of snow on Carneddau. Top's not too far away. Wow. Welcome to the top of Llithrig, Wrach, the slippery hill of the witch. Gorgeous. Let's get the camera on the tripod and give you a little bit of a panorama of this top. Absolutely beautiful. Goodbye to Llithrig, Wrach. Is that right?
Something, yeah, rat of something.
Yeah, slippery hill of the witch. Very windy up there, so we can't find anywhere to sit down there and have a bite to eat. So we'll head down and see what we can find. Wow, what a view this is! Holy moly! Wow, it's quite a steep descent off the back of Llithrig, Wrach, and we're just taking our time. It's a new test for my knee. Going up have been okay, a bit stiff, a bit sore, but fine. Let's see how we get down here. Okay, we've decided in our wisdom to drop down and come back along Llyn Eigiau, a route I've done in the past when we went up Carneddau over there. But it's a lovely walk. Lengthened the day a little bit, but just saves going back the way we've come. So that should be nice. Shall catch up with you again once we get down to the head of the reservoir, which is the deepest in Wales, I believe. Right, we've had our lunch. Got my silly flippy floppy hat on. Keep the sun off my rather large snozzer and hopefully stop it from turning bright red. Now we continue our descent to the head of the Llyn. So it's joining the path that runs along the length of Llyn Eigiau. We've been plodding along the banks of the Llyn for quite a while now. It does go on and on, this one, but it is beautiful, and the ground underfoot is constantly changing, so you've got to have your wits about you. Spent a lot of time dodging tadpoles. The loads of the puddles have had frog spawn in them, and yeah, those little tadpoles have got a tough start to life, flipping Nora. But shortly along here we'll take a left-hand fork. We've turned away from the lake, and then we follow this wall along until we're a good way past the end of the dam. Now we begin to move away from the Llyn and over the top, and then drop down the other side. Nice little bridge. So today is the first anniversary since we lost my little sister. So it's always nice on these sorts of occasions to spend the day in the mountains and take a few minutes just to remember them, really. And so we've been treated today by some spectacular scenery and spectacular weather, and again, to be the first time out in a couple of months, it's made it all the more special. We are coming to the end of this adventure. Just got to follow this path around until we pick up the dam, and then follow that back to the car. So I'm back in the car in about half an hour, and you've seen most of this already. Oh, what a fantastic day it's been. It's been fantastic to get back out in the mountains again after such a long break. And the important thing is my knee feels okay. It's a bit stiff and a bit sore, but it's fine. I've slipped a few times and had to catch myself on it, and it's taken my weight okay, which is very encouraging. So hopefully I'll be back out again soon. thank you very much for watching if you've got this far, and I'll see you on the next one, all being well. Ta-ta for now.